People, welcome back to our channel and thank you so much for watching this video today. If this is your first time, please do not forget, subscribe below and make sure you turn on the notification bell, put on the bell so that when I post the next video, you're the first to watch. Thank you so much for understanding. So today's video, I want to talk about an affordable country in Europe that a lot of people do not know about. Now, yes, I know you may be asking how much is the proof of funds, but wait, relax so that you follow the video till the end. This country I'm talking about is Switzerland, and if you didn't know that Switzerland is quite affordable, then I am here today to tell you that Switzerland is a very good country and is very affordable. Now, when you are looking for universities to study abroad, put into consideration that the Embassy of Switzerland in Cameroon and the Embassy of Switzerland in Nigeria, they are two separate embassies, and you may find a variety, or let me say the documents, the requirements might be different. So please pay attention to all of this. Now, when you are looking for schools in Switzerland, remember that you may be asked to pay a fee of at least 900 to 1,005 Swiss francs. 1,900 to 1,005 Swiss franc is equivalent to around 1,000 US dollars. Yes, some schools in Switzerland will charge you even 650 US dollars. Some will charge you 800. Some will charge you 900. Others will charge you more. So you have to put this into consideration. Now, also understand that before you apply for visa, accommodation is very important. And when you are booking for accommodation, remember that accommodation must come from the canton in which you are going to study. You have to book accommodation within that canton. For example, they have Geneva, they have Bern, they have Zurich, they have Basel, and all these places do not speak the same language. Some speak English, some speak Italian, I mean the predominant language. So before you move into Switzerland, put this into consideration. It is very important. Accommodation is part of the visa requirements for you to apply for visa. Now, the main problem here should be your let me say your proof of funds, and I'm going to talk about the proof of funds now. After I talked about the proof of funds, I'm going to give you a list of all the requirements, a list of the long stay visa requirements that you need to apply for a study visa to Switzerland. It is very important that you know the list, then you get prepared, because without you knowing all of this, you may not know what you are doing. Now, understand that for health insurance, you do not need to get it until you arrive Switzerland. Okay, I'm going to still talk about Switzerland in detail and some of the universities that are available and the time that these universities are going to be open so that you can actually apply to them. I hope you understand. Now, let's take a look at the proof of funds. Proof of funds, according to the Swiss government, they are saying that if you have someone who lives in Switzerland, then the person can do your bank statement for you. But basically, this is not what is really on ground. This is from the embassy's website, and this is not what is on ground. Then the next thing is, if you have money in a bank in Switzerland, is also very important. All right, or if you have a grant or a scholarship fully funded from a university in Switzerland, these are the methods that you can use. But now, a lot of people usually think that since they don't have money in a bank in Switzerland, or they don't have a sponsor, anybody in Switzerland, but they have this money in their own local bank accounts, maybe in Nigeria or Cameroon or Ghana, they cannot study in Switzerland. No, it is possible. All I will ask you to do is, because I know somebody that have traveled like that, the person told me that it's possible, okay, to Switzerland. All you need to do is to put the money in your own bank account. But first, before putting the money, make sure, remember, the bank statement has to be 4 to 6 months. Switzerland may ask for 3 months, but make sure you always check the visa documents, okay? But bank statement normally is 4 to 6 months before you can print it and submit to the embassy for visa application. And a lot of people think that this money is small money. No. According to the Swiss authorities, I'm going to be looking at my jota here. You need at least 1,545 euros per month to study in Switzerland. That's above 600,000 CFA francs. Okay, then if you multiply this money by 12, let's assume that your program is 1 year. your program is going to last 1 year, and 1 year is 12 months. If you multiply 1,545 euros times 12, you are going to get like 18,540. This is equivalent to around 12 million plus. You can put this money in your bank account, but make sure you are able to show the source of income. How did you get the money? Do you work? If you work, yes, bring in all this documentation, but ask the Swiss embassy. It is very, very important. I would like to also draw your attention to the fact that visa takes at least 3 months. So apply, make sure you give the start date of your program before you apply to any school in Switzerland, because they are going to be looking at your start date and when they are processing your visa. But at the end of the day, you are going to get it from 1 to 3 months. So give 3 months ahead you apply. I hope you get it. Now let's take a look at the documents that you need in order to submit your student visa to Switzerland. Remember, when you go to the Swiss embassy website, you are going to find a lot of information, a lot of details, a lot of different visas, okay? But pay attention to what you need. As an international student, what you need is a long stay visa, which is a visa D. It's a D type visa for studies. Long stay means it's a more than 90 days visa. Schengen visa is different. Tourist visa is different, okay? And all those other petty visas, they are different, but yours is a visa for more than 90 days. For those in Cameroon, it is said that any person applying for a short stay visa should make an appointment on yaounde.visa@eda.admin.ch. That one doesn't concern us. We are talking about student visa requirements here. The first thing you need is one visa application form, D type, okay, duly and legible signed by the applicant or the international student. The visa form must be signed. Then you have 3 recent identical passport photographs. They are there. Then you also need a passport with a validity exceeding 3 months after expecting date of entry Switzerland. So if you must enter Switzerland, yeah, your passport must be able to, at least when you land in Switzerland, your passport should still be valid for at least 4 months. That's what they mean here. Now, and 2 copies of each of the following documents in order. So you are arranging the documents in 2 blocks, 2 copies of each. The first one is the visa application form duly signed by you, okay? You need to have one in this way and one this other way. That's what they mean by 2 blocks. This procedure may vary. It may not be the same for students applying from Nigeria. Then you also need a photocopy of your passport this way and this way. Remember, they said 2 blocks. Then a confirmation of enrollment from schools or universities in Switzerland. You can now decide if you are going to the University of Bern, the University of Geneva, the University of Neuchâtel, the University of Basel, the University of Zurich, or where. It depends on you. Then confirmation tuition fee payment. Most schools in Switzerland will ask you to pay small portions of your tuition fee before your actual start date. But this does not mean that they are going to ask you to pay all the money. They may just want you to pay small and you confirm your seat. Also remember that when you get admissions, before you even apply, some schools will say if you apply after the deadline given, you are going to pay extra fee. Remember, the extra fee is application fee I'm talking about. So if you apply after the date given, you are going to pay a late application fee and it's non-refundable. Now, you also need confirmation tuition fee payment. I mentioned that. Proof of sufficient funds for your studies. And you have to look at the options. There are options there saying that a statement commitment as well as evidence of income or wealth of a trustworthy person residing in Switzerland. That's the first thing. Then confirmation of bank recognized in Switzerland that can satisfy the existence of sufficient assets. At least those of these banks I'm talking about are banks that are found in the FITMAX group. These banks, I think they include HSBC and a lot of other banks. There are about 17 of them. But now most of the problem is we don't have these banks mostly in our countries. What do? Like I said at the beginning of this video, write an email to the Swiss embassy telling them that you want to study, you have your money in your own personal bank account. Is there an alternative? Can you print your own statement because you saw this on the embassy website? Explain like this to them so that they know what to tell you, okay? It's possible. They might tell you that, okay, do this and bring to us. So you have to put this into consideration. Then the other thing is a firm or sufficient guarantee of a granting of scholarship or granting of scholarship. So in essence, you just need to show evidence that you have a fully funded scholarship. That is it for proof of funds. Then the other thing you need to know is that you need a detailed CV. Your CV must be there as well. You need photocopies of school certificates and diplomas. You must have them submitted to the embassy, the Swiss embassy. You also need a comprehensive study plan, including syllabus, the target and overall duration of your studies. You need to draft a study plan, putting your syllabus and showing them the overall duration of your studies. You need a study plan. Then you also need a handwritten letter explaining your motivation, okay, the reasons you have opted for education in Switzerland and the project upon completion of your studies. What you want to do after you finish your program, what are you going to do? So you need to write this motivation letter to explain to the embassy like that. When submitting the visa form, the embassy reserves the right to assess the applicant's language proficiency. This is to tell you that before you look for any program, you have to be proficient. If you are applying for an English program, at least they need to know if you can speak English. Very important. IELTS is not a compulsory something, but some schools may not ask it. But I would like to tell you that the embassy may ask you a couple of questions. So you need to know this. Visa submission, visa application must be submitted at the latest 3 months before the start of classes. That is to tell you that it takes at least 3 months for you to get your visa. I hope you understand. These are some of the things that you need to know and some of the requirements that you need to put into consideration, because with the Swiss embassy, it's usually tuition fee in Switzerland is not a problem. Like I said, there are schools in Switzerland. I think the University of Neuchâtel is like 950 euros a year, something like that. And now what you just need to satisfy is money for living costs, because you need to show this money, at least 12 million plus. I hope you see where the issue is, and that is why a lot of international students don't apply to Swiss schools, because you need this money. They may want to see the money cash, all right, for you to start the visa application. Like I said, email the embassy and ask them if you can actually have this in your own personal account. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you haven't liked the video, please like the video and turn on the notification bell when you subscribe. Just click the subscribe button. It is free. Come on, guys, subscribe and support the movement.